Have you ever seen anything like this? I think I'm the first person, or at least pioneered this style of execution content in the trading space. If you've seen something like this, please leave it down in the comments and let me know. I have to see how the other person does it, because I think I am the first person to full on edit their executions. And if you haven't, let me know what you think of it in the comments. This is what all my videos are going to look like. All my execution videos are going to look like on my social medias. I am still working on the style itself, so every video has been a little bit different, but I'm trying to get better at it. I've only been doing it for about a week, so it should be getting better as I keep going forward. But apart from that, let's get into the video. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Lewis, and I am just simply documenting my trading journey. First and foremost, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Yeah, I had a really good week this week, so I want to get straight into the fun and talk to you guys about what ended up happening this week. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Both of them are in the description. Make sure that you join my Discord. Link is down in the description as well. Let's get into the sponsor of this video and also the Discord. Now I'll meet you there. All right, now to the sponsor of this video, Tektronix PCs. Make sure you follow them on Instagram, and if you're looking for the best quality PC build with the best parts available in the market, make sure you follow them on Instagram. Send a message. You are able to use my discount code LVFLIP for 10% off on all their builds. I'm gonna put the video of my build here right now because I got a case from them, and I also got some extra RAM, so I just wanted to make sure you guys got a look at what their product ends up looking like in the end. They are currently working on their website right now. It's under construction, so that's why I'm directing you straight to their Instagram. Their website should be up very soon, but that should be everything that you need. Apart from that, let's head into the Discord. All right, here we are in the Discord. This is the Discord. We've been very active recently, and I really appreciate it. Let me know if you got any of your accounts taken down. But what happened with Top Step was a little crazy, but I was able to get in there and change my passwords without hitting the link on any of the fake phishing emails that they sent out. But I was updating everybody in here last night. But we ended up having a very good week this week, as you can see. We ended up taking a bunch of really good trades. A lot of us in the group, actually. I just love the fact that we've been very active. There was one day where we weren't very active, but it's okay. We came back the next day. Apart from that, if you want to join, the link is down in the description. All that I ask is that you're active in the chat. A lot of people are coming in now. We are at 137 members. I have been adding a couple things here in the premium lectures, but if you want to join the premium, all you have to do is scroll all the way down to where it says join premium, and everything is in there. If you want to get taught how to trade by me with one-on-one mentorship, all the information is in there as well. You could also DM me on Instagram and or DM me here on the Discord, the free Discord, or if you have my Discord, just DM my Discord directly. But like I said, everybody's been very active. I'm extremely grateful for that. All that I can say is let's keep it up. Now moving on, thank you so much for basically 1380 subscribers. Hopefully we'll be at 1340 by the time this video goes up. You can only be optimistic, but let's see what ends up happening. I'm extremely grateful for even being here right now, because I was not here about a year ago, and we're just gonna continue to get better and continue to grow. Apart from that, that is everything that I have to say. Let's head straight into the actual juicy stuff and talk about what ended up happening this week. All right, this is what the week ended up looking like. I know it looks a little crazy right now because I have all three charts up. Let's take a look at just NQ. As you can see, NQ ended up being a Monday low of week all the way up to a Thursday high, which was what I was anticipating last week. If you remember what I said, I was still bullish, and I ended up having a very good week at the end of the week. Let's head straight into it. I don't want to make this video too long. Let's just get straight into the knowledge. Like I always say, stay till the very end so you can learn a lot. I honestly do this as a backtesting session on all the trades that I took this week. I took a lot of very good trades this week. Honestly, I had an amazing week, and I finished off amazingly on Friday as well. Don't miss out on that trade. That was a banger. It's important for your development as a trader to at least sit here and try to watch it all the way through, even if you don't understand it, because at the end of the week you probably will understand it later on. But let's get straight into it and let's see what this week ended up looking like. With Monday the 2nd of June. Now Monday I took an L right away, if I do remember correctly, because I ended up taking a short in a situation where it was obvious going to be bullish. This is after back testing, obviously, and if you want to see the execution I took on Monday, yes, I post my losing trades. I am not like these traders who only post winning trades all the time. I post my actual losses as well. I took a loss in here trying to long them. I believe I was trying to long them in this fair value gap, something like that. Okay, now I remember I ended up trying to take shorts here on Monday after the short, obviously, because I thought we would come up and then start heading lower. But what I didn't notice was that we were bullish straight off the bat, straight bullish. I thought maybe we would try to head a little bit lower because we did have some type of sell side down here from Friday. I thought maybe we would head lower towards that and then start heading up because I was still bullish for the week. But what ended up happening was that I didn't notice that we came back down to an order block, as you see here. So I started trying to take shorts. I think I took a short somewhere. If it wasn't here, I can't remember where. I think it was here. Once we tapped these up close candles, I tried to take a short here and I was in some profit, but it ended up coming up back on me because we were bullish. It was very clear, especially on like the 15-minute. You can see that we have a sweep of liquidity down here. We have another internal sweep of liquidity with this being swept. This down close candle that came down into the rejection block. This is a 4-hour rejection block, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, right here. This is the rejection block. Now we get back inside of there to look at the internal price action. Like I said, they tapped the key level, souped this liquidity, and then pumped. So what I was doing, actually, I was trying to go bullish because I was honestly targeting this high. This was my target because I did notice that. And I can't remember if this was the day that I took a long or if it was a different day. It might have been Tuesday. No, it was on Tuesday. Yeah. But on this day, I saw that at the open, they just pumped straight to my target. So I should have just been patient and waited until something happened. I saw that they started heading lower. So they had this very big short. But what were they really doing? They were just coming back lower one last time to tap into this order block and then head higher. They gave 2 opportunities on the 1 minute. And if you go like this as well, I'm pretty sure they came into OTE once again. Yep. As you can see there, they came into OTE to then set price higher. So I should have been looking for longs on that day. Stupid mistake, but I fixed it during the end of the week. Just being able to wait and see price action really for what it's supposed to be doing. And I think I only had another losing day. When was it? On Thursday? No. Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. And it's because of my impatience and not trusting my idea, which is a problem that I've been facing for a long time, but I'm getting there. I'm fighting it every day and I'm gonna become better at it no matter what, because that's just what we have to do as traders. But if we hop on the 1 minute now to look at that fractal price action here on the 1 minute, as you can see, we end up coming all the way down, hitting this key level here. And I should have known, and I did kind of have like this feeling, or I don't even want to say intuition, that after we start to inverse this fair value gap right here and create a fair value gap of our own on the buy side, that we were going to be bullish. I tried to take short. If I don't know if it was here, the first short I took, and then the second one was somewhere over here, but I just got cooked, man. It was just bad because they were bullish and I should have seen, especially with them hitting the order block. I had the order block marked and all that, but switched my bias and it just ended up being in the wrong. But I have to sit here and tell you guys about it because I want to be honest and I want to learn from my mistakes, and I can't learn from my mistakes if I'm not being honest with myself. I had noticed the order block, I had noticed order flow was bullish, but after this big dump I switched my bias for some reason, and yeah, I just ended up getting cooked because of that. But that is what ended up happening on Monday. If you want to see the execution, it is on my Instagram at LewisVisuals_. Now let's head to Tuesday. Now here we are, Tuesday the 3rd. Now this is the trade that I took on demo. I've actually been waking up at 5 in the morning, so this is my actual execution. You can see it in the Discord and I'll show you right now. Here it is. This is that execution I told you. Got in there, stopped below here, and then I moved it up, and yeah, it just went crazy after that. This was the execution that I ended up taking during the pre-market, just because I wasn't too confident in taking a trade at 5 in the morning. Honestly, should have just took it, if I'm being honest. It was a very good entry, extremely good entry. It's probably the best entry of the week if I just held all the way through. Obviously taking profits at the previous week high here on Thursday, which was my overall target, but it's okay. The trade that I actually ended up taking is here on the 1 minute. As you can see, I was just straight up bullish. I knew we were gonna head up higher towards those highs. I didn't think we were gonna get there on Tuesday exactly, but I just wanted to watch and see what price was gonna end up doing. But as you can see right here, this is the trade that I took for about 50 points. And if you want to see the Instagram for the execution, at LewisVisuals_ as always. But here we are. This is the trade entry that I ended up taking right after the 10 a.m. open. I noticed that we dumped, created an SMT with ES. Now I'll show you the SMT. All right, so here we are. This is the low from 9:30, basically 9:39, and then this is the low from 10:08. As you can see, these lows ended up all getting taken out by ES, creating a bullish SMT, while NQ did not take those out, which was my confirmation to head into longs at that point after the 10 a.m. open. Should I have already been in longs? Hell yeah. But I just waited because I didn't want to enter a trade too early and then get cooked just because I knew I was bullish. And that's my problem. I know where the market is heading, which is most people's problem. They don't know where the market is heading. My problem is getting in at the right time so I don't get stopped out with some BS. But I actually had a entry first about here. It was like right here, and my stop was initially below this. I then ended up moving at like right here somewhere, or I forget where exactly, but as soon as they started to move up, then I saw that they came back down. I moved to break even. They took me out at break even. Then after that, I noticed this SMT here, which with these two lows, this low right here at 1025 with the low here at 1035, making a higher low on ES and a lower low on NQ. So that was my confirmation to head in there again, coming below the 10 o'clock open. So I just entered that, stop below this low with a 10-point stop basically, and then just rode it out because I was still bullish. I still thought price was gonna head higher. I should have held it if I'm being honest, yeah, but with the prop firm accounts, I just go for $1,000 profit and try not to be too greedy. As long as I get a piece of the pie, that's all I care about. And then you saw what it ended up doing later on in the day. Now let's head into Wednesday, because Wednesday was a bad day for me. Wednesday was annoying, but you know, you live and you learn. You really, every day I sit here and I learn more and more. Once again, bullish on Wednesday, extremely bullish on Wednesday. And I was going over this trade with one of my students. It just made so much sense. If I would have just waited, I took a short, or I took a long in a premium again. Like I told you in the last video, my problem recently has been taking longs in a premium and taking shorts in a discount, and for some reason it wasn't any different on this day. So what I was doing was, as you can see, we end up having this move, and I was taking longs somewhere in here. I think there was a 5-minute gap on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, right here. I took a long in this 5-minute gap thinking we would head towards these highs. Obviously wrong. If you just take a look at what the current price leg was at the time, we were still in a premium. As you can see, I took it in this fair value gap, still in a premium, so it was a stupid entry either way. And then I decided that I was done for the day, and I just kept watching. Then I ended up taking this in demo, and I don't know if I sent it in the Discord, so I didn't take it in the Discord, but I ended up taking this trade here on demo, and I'll explain why I took it on demo. Now it messed me up. If you look at the 1 minute, you'll see what ended up happening. I got cooked on Wednesday, and that's why I got off after that trade, because I didn't wait till the news. So the news candle ended up raping me right here. This one candle right here at 10 o'clock ended up destroying my account, and that's because obviously you end up paying for it when news happens, and you know, the volatility ends up filling you way below or way above where you wanted to get out. I wanted to get out below these lows as my stop loss, and it was like $190 something. I ended up getting taken out for like $600, $700 just based on this. It's so annoying, but I was bullish, so all I had to do was wait until we first and foremost came down here and create this SMT. Show you the SMT as well. But as you can see, this is the low, same low at 825. This is the low at 1008, and ES didn't take it out, making a higher low. NQ did take it out, making a lower low, and that was the confirmation I needed. I honestly had my stop loss in the demo trade below here because I entered a little bit late. I should have entered down here if I'm being honest, like this, and then watch price go all the way up because I saw there was also an SMT here and there. So I ended up moving the stop loss like right below this, and this is the trade later on. Crazy choppy day, very close to TP up here, and then I just did what it did. But once you know where the low of the candle that you're trading is, it's very simple. I knew this was the low of the 10 a.m. candle. I just had to figure out what the high was gonna end up being, and then just go with a trade there. Would have got easily my 50 points on the funded account on the first leg up, as you can see, but it ended up hitting full TP, which was this buy side liquidity of the about 1040 candle. But that is what ended up happening on Wednesday. Now Thursday and Friday, banger trades, amazing trades. I was honestly not even surprised at the development that I've been making, but let's take a look. Here on Thursday, there was a lot of weirdness happening due to the Donald Trump and Elon Musk fiasco, but I was bullish. I ended up taking it long here, if I'm not mistaken. I took it long somewhere around here like this, and then I had my stop loss below this here, and I was honestly targeting 50 points once again, so it would have hit, but I ended up closing it just because I didn't like this idea. I don't know why, but I ended up closing as soon as they started heading lower, and then they come and give me a short opportunity, so I ended up taking the short here, which was just manipulation before this move up to then manipulate again. So like I was saying, it was just a crazy day, and this was the Thursday after we had news at around 8:30, so I just got a short in a premium and went off with it. You know, this is the short that I ended up taking here in a premium, and I was just targeting the 10 a.m. open. They went down because I saw that they were chopping a lot and heading lower, so I was like, okay, let me try to short once they are at the top. I got a CISD entered, and then I targeted the lows. It was a very simple trade, but honestly looking back, it wasn't the best trade of the day, because this up here ended up showing up later on after I got out, which was a very good entry. Could have had anything along the lines of this with my stop above here, and then, you know, targeted anything down here. Really, this was the best entry of the day, targeting this daily fair value gap, if I'm not mistaken, down here. Yeah, this daily fair value gap down here was my draw on liquidity that day. That's why I was taking shorts. But like I said, sometimes you get those good moves, and you know, you can't be greedy, but the best move was not the one that I took at the time. It was this up here. There was also an SMT with this high, if I'm not mistaken. Here we are, this high. ES not taking out this high, making a lower high, and NQ making a higher high. So that was confirmation for those shorts. Any short inside of this, amazing short. That was the move of the day. This would have been a good long as well, can't be mad at it, but this short was clean, very clean. And I didn't see it because this was later on in the afternoon, around 12. I was already off at the charts because I got my winning trade for the day, and you know, that's all I really need. I don't really care about catching the big move, but I do want to work on taking this, because if I would have got a leg like this, for example, just let's say these 50 points right here, I would have been very glad, extremely glad, just because of the fact that I was trading the right direction and the big move, got a piece of the big move, the big pie. So either way, it is what it is. We will continue with, you know, winning and everything like that. So now Friday was a banger. Friday, oh my gosh, this trade be making me right. I'm still bullish, but I noticed that there was a 1 hour fair value gap down here that got tapped into, but there was a bunch of SMTs, and I was like, okay, if there's a bunch of SMTs, I need to figure out what the market is trying to do. So I just waited. This was the latest trade I've ever taken. Probably I don't take trades past 11 or something like that, and I took this trade basically at 12, 15, 12, something like that. But there was a daily SMT. ES and YM ended up taking the previous day high of Thursday high, and NQ didn't. So I was like, okay, boom, that's my first thing. Then there was a 4 hour SMT, and if you see right here, I ended up taking the long on demo because I wanted to wait for the 10 a.m. candle, and this is it right here. I ended up hitting, obviously, because I'm gangster like that. Then I just waited for the 10 a.m. candle, and as you can see here, I'm going to show you on the 5 minute, for example. And I know it looks like a lot, but I'll explain it all. This is the trade that I took right here. It was a 6R. We had a lot of chop starting out. Then I noticed, right, this is the long that I took, this long from up here, and I took a long because there was an SMT below these lows. So I was like, okay, this looks like bullet structure now. They started to move up on the 1 minute, took the long, stopped below these lows, got out up here, right? There was a 30-minute fair value gap up here as well. So I was like, oh, the 4 hour high is right below the fair value gap. Then there's this fair value gap from yesterday. Okay, so key level and liquidity, boom, all I needed. But what did I do? I hesitated on the short initially because it was just so quickly. As you see right here, this was the short that I should have taken, or maybe even this short right after taking the 10 o'clock open. Should have taken that short down to these lows. Perfect fair value gap was in here, but I hesitated. So I was like, okay, let me see what's happening now. I don't want to rush into a trade because I hesitated. Should have just trusted myself. Honestly, gave it a try, but at the same time, it's okay. If you miss the first bus, just take the second one. Then I go on the 5 minute, and what do I see? We have SMT on the daily. We have an SMT on the 4 hour. We have this order block right here. All I did was wait. That's all I did. Through all this time, I ended up taking a short here, somewhere in here, if I'm not mistaken, on the 1 minute. I took a premature short, and it was like right here. Stop above this high. They ended up heading lower. Then they came back up, stopped me out, break even. Then at this same time, when this came back up and swept liquidity from this up here, ES ended up hitting the same order block, and then I took the short down, and I had my stop initially above here, basically a 9.75 stop. Once they started to dump and close below this fair value gap, this inverse fair value gap, I moved to break even, and then the rest was history. I targeted the wick, or the 50% of the wick on the 1 hour, if I'm not mistaken, but I was really targeting down here. This gave me 61 points, and I just took it because I took the 61 points because it gave me the profit that I needed, and that's all that I wanted. I didn't want too much more. Right after that, it ended up reversing all the way up here, and then we'll end up seeing what they did next week. But that is the trading week that I ended up having. It was a very good trading week. I learned a lot. I'm just getting better. I think with every time that I have a session with any one of my students, I just become better, because it's different when you're teaching somebody else. You don't realize how simple it really is until you start to teach somebody else a concept or a strategy, whatever it is. But like I said, amazing trading week. This is the trade, probably the best trade I had all week, if I'm being honest, apart from probably that Tuesday trade or that Monday trade. Not Tuesday trade, that Tuesday paper trade was crazy. That shit, it came out to like 4,000 with one contract or something like that, and I closed early. But it is what it is. Make sure you check out Techtronics.com. That's everything that I have to say. Techtronics on Instagram, actually, not the website. The website is under the works right now. Use my discount code LVFlip to get 10% off. Make sure you follow me on all social medias at LewisVisuals_ on Instagram, at LewisVisuals on TikTok. Make sure you follow me on TikTok TikTok and Instagram. Look out for my stories because I have been posting a lot on those. That's pretty much everything I have to say. If you've never seen my execution videos, my new ones, and you've never seen that style before, please let me know in the comments. If you've seen it before, send me whoever has posted an execution video like that, not just a regular trading video that has that type of style. I'm talking about an execution video. But apart from that, that's everything that I have to say. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.